Welcome to the channel. In today's video, we're exploring the top 4 rare pennies from both the USA and the UK. Make sure you watch until the end to catch all the details on each one. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button for more great content. Let's get started with top 1. The 1975 USA 1-cent penny holds a fascinating place in American numismatic history. To understand the significance of this small, unassuming coin, we must first dive into its historical context and the journey it has taken through the decades. It all begins long before 1975, when the penny first entered circulation in the United States. The penny, originally introduced in 1793, has undergone several design changes over the years, with the goal of keeping it relevant, identifiable, and in line with the times. By the time the mid-20th century rolled around, the U.S. Mint was already experimenting with changes in coinage, seeking to respond to rising production costs, evolving aesthetics, and the need to remain aligned with the nation's values. Now, let's fast forward to the early 1970s, a time when the U.S. economy was experiencing challenges such as inflation and rising material costs. The government was under pressure to cut expenses wherever possible, and the penny, with its low denomination, was no exception. The raw materials required to mint coins, particularly copper, had become more expensive, which raised questions about whether the penny was still economically viable. In 1973, the U.S. Mint began to experiment with alternative materials for the penny, considering the rising cost of copper, which made up a significant portion of the coin's composition. By 1975, the Mint faced a dilemma. How could they continue producing a penny that was cost-effective while still retaining the classic image that Americans were familiar with? Enter the 1975 penny. Although many of these pennies were struck with traditional copper, the Mint was exploring new alloy combinations, which laid the groundwork for changes in future years. However, the 1975 penny remains a special case, as a small number of coins were struck with a unique combination of materials. This specific detail would become the focus of collectors and numismatists in the years to come. Before we dive into the specifics of the 1975 penny's design, let's take a step back to consider the legacy of the coin. The penny has always held a symbolic place in American culture. While its value may seem modest, the penny has been integral to the nation's economy for centuries, and its continued circulation is a testament to its staying power. In fact, throughout the 20th century, the penny was used in everything from vending machines to public transportation fares, making it a vital part of everyday transactions. By the 1970s, however, things were changing. The rapid pace of inflation meant that the penny was losing purchasing power. Its once critical role in everyday transactions was diminishing, and many began to question whether it was still necessary to keep the penny in circulation. Despite these economic shifts, the penny remained part of the American coinage system, largely due to its cultural significance and the reluctance of the American public to abandon it. With this backdrop in mind, the 1975 penny arrived. One of the most important design features of this coin was the reverse side, which depicted the familiar image of the Lincoln Memorial. The coin's obverse displayed the famous portrait of Abraham Lincoln, which had been in use since the penny's redesign in 1909. For those who may not be familiar, the penny is often associated with Lincoln because he was the 16th President of the United States, and the design was originally commissioned to commemorate his 100th birthday. The 1975 penny, like other pennies produced at the time, had a diameter of 19 millimeters and weighed 2.5 grams. Its composition was primarily copper, with the Mint striking billions of these pennies each year. However, as we discussed earlier, the Mint was already testing different alloys for future penny production, and this experimentation would eventually lead to the adoption of a copper-plated zinc core in 1982. Now, let's focus on one of the most intriguing aspects of the 1975 penny. While most of the coins produced during this year were standard, many collectors would later learn that a very limited number of these pennies were struck with an error. These errors, which were caused by an unusual combination of die changes and minting processes, resulted in a series of pennies that were slightly different from their intended design. The error pennies are incredibly rare and are now considered among the most sought after of all U.S. coins from the 20th century. The significance of these rare 1975 pennies didn't become clear until many years after they were first minted. In the 1980s and 1990s, as the field of coin collecting exploded in popularity, numismatists began to uncover these hidden treasures. These pennies, which were struck with subtle differences in the details of their design, became the subject of much intrigue and speculation. How could these small changes have occurred? What caused these errors, and why were they so rare? As collectors began to hunt for these error coins, their value began to rise. The discovery of a 1975 penny with an unusual combination of errors could lead to substantial financial rewards. Some of these error pennies were found with noticeable changes in the depth of the inscription, while others displayed anomalies in the design of Lincoln's portrait or the reverse image of the memorial. These variations made these pennies incredibly rare, and their scarcity only increased their value. It wasn't long before the 1975 penny gained a reputation among collectors as one of the most exciting finds in modern American numismatics. Coin enthusiasts across the country were eagerly scouring their spare change, hoping to discover one of these rare error pennies that could potentially make them a small fortune. As with many rare and collectible coins, the value of the 1975 penny began to escalate, and it soon became a prized item among serious numismatists. These error pennies are often sold at auction, where their prices can skyrocket depending on the condition of the coin and the rarity of the error. But how much are these pennies worth today? Now, let's get to the big reveal. The 1975 penny, particularly those with minting errors, has gained incredible value in recent years. In fact, some of these rare error pennies have been known to sell for extraordinary amounts. One of the highest recorded sales for a 1975 penny with an error occurred at a major coin auction, where a well-preserved specimen fetched a staggering $113,000. Yes, you heard that correctly. A single penny from 1975, with the right error, can now be worth over $100,000. This astronomical value has caught the attention of both collectors and investors alike. As the world of coin collecting continues to grow and evolve, rare items like the 1975 error penny represent an exciting opportunity for those seeking to add something truly unique to their collection or investment portfolio. But what makes this coin so valuable? It all comes down to rarity. While millions of 1975 pennies were struck, only a tiny fraction of them contained the distinctive errors that make them so desirable. These error coins are often difficult to distinguish from regular pennies at first glance, and many remain hidden in circulation, waiting for someone with a keen eye to discover them. Because of their scarcity and the fact that only a limited number exist, these error pennies continue to fetch impressive sums at auctions, where collectors vie for the chance to own a piece of history. So, how can you tell if you have a valuable 1975 penny in your possession? The key is to closely examine the coin for any unusual markings, die errors, or anomalies in the design. Look for anything out of the ordinary, such as uneven lettering, distortions in the Lincoln Memorial, or strange variations in the image of Abraham Lincoln himself. If you think you've found something worth investigating, it's a good idea to have the coin professionally appraised or certified by a reputable numismatic expert. They can help you determine whether your penny is truly a rare error coin, and if so, how much it could be worth. While finding a valuable 1975 penny might seem like a stroke of luck, the truth is that coin collectors spend years honing their skills, learning to spot rare coins and building impressive collections. If you're just starting out in the world of numismatics, remember that the thrill of the hunt is what makes coin collecting so rewarding. Even if you don't strike it rich with a 1975 penny, there are plenty of other coins out there that could hold surprising value, and who knows, the next treasure might just be waiting in your change. In conclusion, the 1975 USA 1-cent penny is more than just a piece of currency. It's a symbol of American history, an example of the U.S. Mint's creativity, and, for a select few, a rare and valuable treasure. Whether you're a seasoned collector or a casual observer, the story of the 1975 penny serves as a reminder of the power of rarity, the allure of coin collecting, and the enduring significance of even the smallest denominations in the world of numismatics. The 1989 UK 1 penny coin might seem like an everyday piece of currency, something you'd casually find at the bottom of your pocket or mixed in with a pile of loose change. But if you take a closer look and dig into its history, design, minting process, and the surprising stories surrounding it, you'll uncover that this penny is much more than just a small denomination. It's a coin that embodies the history of the United Kingdom, the evolution of British currency, and, for some lucky collectors, a rare treasure that can fetch staggering amounts of money. This is the story of the 1989 UK 1 penny and how it became a highly sought-after coin in the world of numismatics, with a shocking value that has risen to an astonishing $100,000. To truly understand the significance of the 1989 1 penny, we first need to examine the historical context of British currency. The British penny has a rich and storied past, stretching all the way back to Anglo-Saxon times. The coin's origins can be traced to the 8th century, when it was first introduced as a silver coin. Over the centuries, the penny evolved, and by the time it reached the 20th century, it had become a copper alloy coin that had undergone several design changes. But it was in 1971 that the penny, like many other coins, saw a significant change in its composition and value. In 1971, the United Kingdom made a major transition from the old pounds, shillings, and pence system to a new decimal system. The introduction of decimalization was a landmark event, changing the structure of British currency for the first time in hundreds of years. Under the new system, the pound was divided into 100 new pence, making the penny a much smaller denomination in comparison to its previous value. This move was made to simplify the currency system and align it with other nations using decimal-based currencies. The 1989 1 penny coin was part of the ongoing evolution of British currency that took place after decimalization. By this point, the 1 penny coin had already undergone a significant redesign, but the 1989 version continued the tradition of portraying important national symbols. It was during the 1980s and 1990s that the design of British coins became increasingly significant, with the Royal Mint focusing on modernizing and simplifying the imagery on its coins. But the penny, despite being one of the lowest denominations, was never far from the public eye, as it was the coin that was most commonly used in everyday transactions. The design of the 1989 penny is a reflection of the Royal Mint's commitment to honoring British heritage while embracing a more contemporary style. On the obverse side of the coin, you'll find the portrait of Queen Elizabeth II, which had been the standard design for British coins since her ascension to the throne in 1952. The portrait of the Queen was created by the renowned engraver Raphael Maklauf and features a youthful, yet dignified representation of Her Majesty. This portrait, known as the Maklauf portrait, was used on British coinage from 1985 until 1997 and became an iconic image associated with the country's currency during the late 20th century. On the reverse side of the 1989 penny, we see a striking image of the Welsh leek, a traditional symbol of Wales. The leek has been an emblem of Wales for centuries, often associated with Saint David, the patron saint of Wales, and is a symbol of national pride. The leek was chosen as the central design element for the 1989 1 penny coin as part of a series of British coins that highlighted national symbols representing different parts of the United Kingdom. The reverse design was created by the artist and engraver Christopher Ironside, who was tasked with creating a more modern and representative set of coins for the new decimal system. The 1989 penny, with its depiction of the leek, is part of this broader effort to celebrate British heritage while presenting a more contemporary vision of the country's symbols. The size of the 1989 penny also reflects the changes in British coinage that occurred after decimalization. The penny had been significantly reduced in size compared to the pre-decimal coins, and the 1989 version measured just 20.3 millimeters in diameter, making it one of the smaller coins in circulation. The coin weighed 3.56 grams and, like many other British coins at the time, was composed of a copper-plated steel alloy. The reduction in size and material change was part of the effort to cut costs in coin production, while still maintaining the coin's durability and recognizability. The minting of the 1989 penny, like most British coins, took place at the Royal Mint in Llantrisant, Wales. The Royal Mint is one of the oldest mints in the world, with a history dating back over 1,000 years. It has produced British coins for centuries and continues to be the primary producer of the UK's currency. The Royal Mint is known for its meticulous attention to detail, ensuring that each coin it produces meets the highest standards of quality. In 1989, the Royal Mint struck millions of one-penny coins to meet the demands of the public. These coins were distributed into circulation, where they would go on to be used in countless everyday transactions. But as with any coin, not all 1989 pennies were created equal. Most of these coins were mass-produced, with the majority circulating through the economy and eventually falling into the hands of collectors and enthusiasts. However, a small number of 1989 pennies were struck with subtle errors during the minting process. These errors, which are often the result of problems with the dies or the production process, can make a coin rare and highly sought after. The most valuable 1989 one-penny coins are those that have been identified as having these unique minting errors. One of the most notable and valuable errors found on the 1989 penny is the so-called double die error. This occurs when the die used to strike the coin is misaligned, causing a faint, double impression of the design. This doubling effect can often be seen on the portrait of Queen Elizabeth II or on the lettering around the edge of the coin. These double die errors are relatively rare and can add significant value to the coin, especially if the error is prominent and clearly visible. Some collectors have spent years searching for these rare error coins, hoping to find a penny with just the right imperfection that could make it worth a small fortune. Beyond the double die errors, there are other variations of the 1989 penny that have caught the attention of collectors. For example, there are coins that feature slightly misaligned designs, or those that were struck with worn-out dies, leading to weak or uneven impressions. While these variations might seem subtle, they can have a dramatic impact on the coin's value. The rarity and uniqueness of these error coins are what make them so highly prized in the world of numismatics. As the world of coin collecting continues to grow, more and more collectors have become aware of the value of rare coins like the 1989 one penny. What was once a simple coin, used for everyday transactions, has now become a coveted item in the world of collectors. The excitement surrounding the discovery of rare error coins has driven up the value of certain 1989 pennies, and these coins can now fetch impressive sums at auction. So, how much is the 1989 penny worth today? You might be surprised to learn that some of the rarest 1989 pennies have been known to sell for staggering amounts. In particular, the 1989 one penny with a double die error has been sold for as much as $100,000. Yes, that's right. A single penny, which you could easily overlook in your spare change, could be worth over $100,000 if it's the right kind of error coin. The high value of these error coins speaks to the rarity and desirability of these unique pieces of British currency. For those interested in finding their own valuable 1989 pennies, it's important to carefully inspect any coins you come across. Look for subtle errors, such as double die impressions, misaligned designs, or weak strikes. If you think you have found a rare 1989 penny, it's recommended that you have it professionally graded and authenticated by a reputable coin grading service. This will help establish the authenticity and condition of the coin, which can significantly affect its value. The value of the 1989 UK one penny coin is a testament to the fascinating world of coin collecting and the enduring appeal of rare and historical currency. What started as a simple piece of everyday change has evolved into a highly sought-after collector's item, with some specimens now worth tens of thousands of dollars. Whether you're a seasoned numismatist or just a casual collector, the 1989 penny serves as a reminder that sometimes the most unassuming objects can hold immense value. So, the next time you come across a penny, take a moment to inspect it closely. You never know, you might just have a rare treasure in your hand. The 2004 USA 1-cent penny might seem like just another coin you've used to pay for your coffee or left forgotten in your car cup holder. But this small piece of currency is far more fascinating than it first appears. When you take a deeper look into the historical context, design changes, minting processes, and the unique collector appeal, you'll see why this seemingly mundane penny is actually a treasure trove of stories. The 2004 penny offers a glimpse into how the U.S. Mint adapts to the changing times and how a simple mistake can turn a coin into a rare and highly sought-after collector's item. To truly appreciate the 2004 penny, we must first step back in time and examine the history of this coin. The penny, or 1-cent coin, has been an integral part of American currency since it was first introduced in 1793. Over the centuries, the penny has undergone various redesigns and material changes. Most famously, the penny has been associated with President Abraham Lincoln, whose image has graced the front of the penny since 1909. While the design has remained remarkably consistent, the materials used to mint the penny have evolved due to rising costs and the changing economics of coin production. For much of its history, the penny was made of copper, but by the early 1980s, the price of copper was rising steadily. To combat the increasing cost of minting the penny, the U.S. Mint transitioned the penny to a copper-plated zinc composition in 1982. This composition remains the standard today. Fast forward to 2004, a year of great significance in American numismatics, as the U.S. Mint decided to commemorate the bicentennial of Abraham Lincoln's birth with a new series of reverse designs for the penny. For over 5 decades, the reverse of the penny had featured the image of the Lincoln Memorial, a symbol of the president's enduring legacy. However, in 2004, the Mint wanted to move beyond the memorial and depict more aspects of Lincoln's life and career, particularly focusing on his early years. This marked the beginning of a multi-year series of pennies featuring 4 different designs on the reverse, each representing a different phase of Lincoln's life. The first design in the series, which appeared on the 2004 penny, portrays the Lincoln Birthplace Memorial in Hodgenville, Kentucky. This memorial, dedicated to the spot where Lincoln was born in 1809, served as the perfect backdrop to represent his humble beginnings. The image on the reverse side of the 2004 penny shows a log cabin within the memorial, surrounded by a stone colonnade. The design evokes the early struggles of Lincoln's life and his rise to greatness. The image of the Lincoln Birthplace Memorial became a powerful symbol of the values of hard work, perseverance, and dedication, qualities that defined Lincoln throughout his life. On the obverse of the coin, the portrait of Abraham Lincoln remained unchanged, as it had for nearly a century. This classic image of Lincoln, created by Victor David Brenner in 1909, has become one of the most recognizable representations of a historical figure in U.S. currency. Lincoln's dignified expression and the sculpted details of his face stand as a tribute to one of the greatest presidents in American history. The decision to retain this design in 2004 ensured that the penny maintained its strong connection to Lincoln's legacy, even as the reverse side underwent a redesign. Like most years, the U.S. Mint produced billions of these 2004 pennies to meet the demand for small change across the nation. In fact, the Mint struck over 7 billion pennies in 2004 alone. These pennies were distributed into circulation, where they would continue to serve their primary function, facilitating everyday transactions. Most of these pennies were eventually spent, tucked away in piggy banks, or lost in the pockets of jeans and jackets. However, for some lucky collectors, these everyday coins held the potential for great value. It's often the smallest, seemingly insignificant coins that end up being worth the most, and the 2004 penny is no exception. In the case of the 2004 penny, there were a number of factors that made some coins more valuable than others. Like any other mass-produced coin, most 2004 pennies were struck with no errors, and they remain worth only their face value of 1 cent. However, for numismatists and coin enthusiasts, the search for rare and error coins is an exciting part of the hobby, and the 2004 penny holds some intriguing possibilities in this regard. The 2004 penny, while largely produced without incident, saw a number of minting errors that have made some of these coins incredibly valuable. These errors occurred due to a variety of factors, such as worn-out dies, unaligned die strikes, or issues in the production process that led to unusual features on the coin. While many of these errors are relatively minor, a small number of 2004 pennies were struck with more significant and visually noticeable errors. These error coins are often referred to as double die coins, which occurs when the coin's design is struck twice by the die, causing the features to appear doubled. This effect is most commonly seen on the portrait of Lincoln or on the inscription E pluribus unum, or In God We Trust, but can also affect other aspects of the design, such as the lettering or the details of the Lincoln Birthplace Memorial on the reverse. Finding one of these error pennies is no easy task. In fact, only a small fraction of the billions of pennies minted in 2004 exhibit these errors, making them extremely rare. These error coins are typically difficult to spot, especially if they are in circulation and have been worn down by time. For collectors, the challenge is part of the thrill, the excitement of potentially discovering a rare error coin in your pocket or a roll of change. Once these error pennies are discovered, their rarity and uniqueness can cause their value to skyrocket, often leading to sales in the thousands of dollars. So, how much are these 2004 error pennies worth? The answer depends on several factors, including the severity and type of error, the condition of the coin, and the current demand for rare coins. Some of these error pennies can sell for several $100s, while others have been known to fetch much higher prices at auction. For example, the most sought-after varieties of the 2004 penny with double die errors can be worth tens of thousands of dollars. The highest recorded sale for a 2004 penny with a significant error reached an astonishing $63,000. Yes, you read that correctly. A single penny that was originally worth just 1 cent, if struck with the right error and in pristine condition, could sell for more than $60,000. This eye-popping price tag speaks to the world of rare coin collecting, where the value of a coin is determined not just by its face value but by its rarity, historical significance, and condition. The 2004 penny with a double die error represents all of these factors. It's a coin that combines a rich historical narrative with a rare minting anomaly, making it a coveted item for collectors. The allure of owning such a coin is not only financial but also personal. It's about possessing a tangible piece of history that connects you to the past in a way that few other objects can. For those who might be fortunate enough to find one of these rare 2004 pennies, it's important to remember that proper evaluation and authentication are key to determining the coin's true value. Many error coins can look similar to regular pennies at first glance, but they often require a trained eye to spot the subtle differences. Professional coin graders and numismatic experts can help determine whether your 2004 penny is a rare error variety and, if so, how much it's worth. Services such as the Professional Coin Grading Service, PCGS, or the Numismatic Guarantee Corporation, NGC, can provide certification and grading, which are essential for ensuring that your coin is authentic and properly valued. The hunt for rare coins, such as the 2004 penny, is one of the most exciting aspects of the coin collecting world. For those who are just starting out in numismatics, finding a valuable coin can be a thrilling experience, but it's important to remember that collecting is not just about the financial rewards. It's also about the joy of learning, discovering history, and connecting with a community of like-minded enthusiasts. Whether you're on the lookout for rare pennies, quarters, or half dollars, The world of numismatics offers endless opportunities for discovery. In conclusion, the 2004 USA 1-cent penny is far more than a simple coin. It's a symbol of American history, a tribute to the life of Abraham Lincoln, and a reminder that even the smallest piece of currency can hold great value. The 2004 penny, with its new reverse design and the possibility of minting errors, continues to captivate collectors and coin enthusiasts around the world. Whether you find a rare error coin or simply appreciate the story behind the penny, it's a reminder that every coin has its own history, and sometimes, a small mistake can lead to a valuable discovery. The 2010 UK 1 penny might seem like just another coin you've held in your hand countless times, something you might casually find in your pocket or sitting in your change jar. However, beneath its simple appearance lies an intriguing story of history, design, production, and the fascinating world of coin collecting. The 2010 penny is not just an everyday piece of currency. In fact, this seemingly modest coin has a unique place in the broader context of British numismatics. It's part of a series of coins that reflect not only the traditions of the past, but also the changing landscape of the UK's currency system. For some lucky collectors, this 1-penny coin, while common in appearance, holds a value that might leave you astonished, reaching as high as $44,000. To understand the significance of the 2010 UK 1-penny, we need to take a step back and explore the broader historical context of the British penny itself. The penny is one of the oldest coins in the world, dating back over 1,000 years to the reign of King Offa of Mercia in the 8th century. The original penny was made of silver, but over the centuries, the penny evolved in both its design and composition. By the 19th century, the penny had become a copper coin, and this material continued to be used for many years. In the 20th century, the penny went through a series of changes in its design and size, reflecting the ongoing shifts in British society and economy. A major turning point came in 1971 when the UK switched from the old pounds, shillings, and pence system to the new decimal currency system. Under the new system, the pound was divided into 100 pence, and the penny became a much smaller denomination than it had been in the past. The decimalization of the pound simplified the currency system and made it easier to use in everyday transactions. However, the introduction of decimalization did not mean the end of the penny's importance. In fact, the penny has remained one of the most widely circulated and commonly used coins in the UK ever since. The 2010 UK 1-penny is part of a series of coins that were introduced in the aftermath of decimalization. By the 2000s, British coinage had gone through various redesigns, with the aim of modernizing the look of the country's currency while still honoring its historical symbols. For the penny, this meant retaining its connection to the nation's past while creating a fresh, contemporary design. The 2010 1-penny, minted as part of the ongoing effort to refresh UK coinage, stands out due to its design and the intriguing circumstances surrounding its production and collector appeal. On the obverse of the 2010 penny, you'll find the familiar and iconic portrait of Queen Elizabeth II, which had been a feature of British coins since the early 1950s. The portrait of the Queen was designed by the renowned sculptor Raphael Maklauf and shows Her Majesty in profile. This image became one of the most recognizable depictions of Queen Elizabeth II, symbolizing her reign and the continuity of the British monarchy. The 2010 coin features the Maklauf portrait, which was used on British coinage from 1985 until 1997, before being replaced by a new portrait designed by Ian Rank Broadley. This version of the Queen's portrait remained a part of the penny's design until 2015, when a new version of the penny was introduced with updated features. The reverse side of the 2010 1-penny is where things get particularly interesting. The reverse design was created by the artist and engraver Matthew Dent, who had designed several other coins in the UK's new series of decimal coins. The 2010 penny features the image of a single rose, symbolizing England. The rose is one of the most well-known national symbols of England, often associated with the Wars of the Roses and with the Tudor dynasty. It has been used in heraldry and British iconography for centuries, and its presence on the 2010 penny was a clear statement of national pride. The design of the 2010 penny, featuring the rose, was a continuation of a broader design scheme that had been introduced in 2008. This scheme aimed to create a unified set of designs for the UK's circulating coins, with each coin representing a different part of the United Kingdom. For example, earlier coins in the series featured the thistle for Scotland, the shamrock for Northern Ireland, and the leek for Wales. By 2010, the Royal Mint had created a coinage that celebrated the diverse history and heritage of the UK, while also bringing these symbols into the modern era with fresh, contemporary designs. The rose on the penny, while timeless in its symbolism, was designed in a way that made it look both classic and modern. The 2010 penny was minted at the Royal Mint, located in Llantrisant, Wales. The Royal Mint is one of the oldest mints in the world, with a history that spans over 1,000 years. It is the institution responsible for producing the UK's coinage and has earned a reputation for creating high-quality coins with intricate designs. The Royal Mint produces billions of coins each year to meet the demands of the public, and the 2010 one penny was no exception. A vast number of these pennies were struck, entering circulation and being used for everyday transactions. Despite the large mintage of the 2010 penny, not all of these coins were destined to be spent or lost in the shuffle of daily life. As is often the case with coins, a small number of 2010 pennies stood out from the crowd for their unique characteristics. These are the coins that are now sought after by collectors. While the design of the 2010 penny might not seem particularly groundbreaking or extraordinary at first glance, there are certain variations and errors that have made this coin incredibly desirable among numismatists. The most notable errors are often the result of subtle imperfections that occur during the minting process. These include misaligned dies, off-center strikes, or double strikes, which can create coins with distinct and rare characteristics. One of the most famous and valuable varieties of the 2010 penny is the so-called double strike penny. This occurs when the coin is struck by the same die more than once, resulting in a faint second impression of the design. The effect is often subtle, but for collectors, it represents a rare and sought-after error that can dramatically increase the value of the coin. Double-strike pennies, especially those that are well-preserved and feature clearly visible errors, are considered highly collectible. It's not uncommon for these coins to fetch prices well above their face value, with some of the most pristine examples reaching thousands of dollars. In addition to double-strike errors, other types of minting imperfections have also contributed to the allure of the 2010 penny. For example, some pennies feature incomplete designs due to die wear or damage. In other cases, there may be missing elements or slight variations in the details of the rose on the reverse, further distinguishing the coin from its more common counterparts. These types of errors and variations are precisely what make the 2010 penny appealing to collectors. A single penny, which might seem like nothing more than a small token of everyday commerce, can hold immense value depending on its rarity and condition. As the world of coin collecting continues to grow, more and more people are becoming aware of the potential value of rare coins like the 2010 one penny. While most of these coins are still in circulation and retain only their face value, collectors are always on the lookout for coins with unique characteristics that set them apart from the rest. The 2010 penny is a prime example of how something seemingly ordinary can become extraordinary when it is associated with rarity and historical significance. Now, let's talk about the most exciting part, the value of the 2010 UK 1 penny. For most of us, a penny is worth just 1 pence, but for collectors, the value of certain coins can far exceed their face value. Some of the rare 2010 1 penny coins, particularly those with double-strike errors or other unique minting flaws, have been known to sell for thousands of dollars. In fact, the most valuable 2010 penny to date has been sold for an astonishing $44,000. This remarkable sum for a single penny demonstrates just how much value collectors place on rare and rare coins. A coin that was originally worth only 1 pence could end up being worth the same as a luxury car or a down payment on a house if it has the right characteristics. For collectors who are interested in finding their own rare 2010 pennies, it's important to carefully examine the coins you come across. Look for subtle errors such as double strikes, off-center designs, or other unusual features. If you think you've found a rare variety, it's worth getting the coin professionally graded and authenticated by a reputable coin grading service. A certified coin will typically fetch a higher price at auction, as it is recognized as genuine and in excellent condition. Professional grading services like the Numismatic Guarantee Corporation, NGC, or the Professional Coin Grading Service, PCGS, are trusted authorities in the world of coin collecting. In conclusion, the 2010 UK 1 penny coin is more than just a small piece of currency. It is a symbol of the ongoing evolution of British coinage, a reflection of the nation's history, and a potentially valuable collectible. While most 2010 pennies are worth only their face value, there are rare and highly sought-after varieties that can fetch tens of thousands of dollars at auction. The world of coin collecting is full of hidden treasures, and the 2010 penny serves as a reminder that sometimes the most unassuming coins can hold great value. Whether you're a seasoned numismatist or a casual collector, this penny might just be the key to unlocking an exciting and potentially lucrative hobby. So, the next time you come across a 2010 penny, take a moment to examine it closely. You never know what kind of hidden treasure it could be. If you enjoyed learning about these incredible pennies and the fascinating world of coin collecting, make sure to share this video with your friends. Don't forget to subscribe, like, share, and leave a comment below. Let us know which penny you found the most interesting. Stay tuned for more exciting content, and thanks for watching.